The film opens in the Scottish Highlands. A group of kids is sitting in a room and is watching Teletubbies. Among the kids is a boy named Jimmy. All the kids look distressed as we hear a commotion from the other room. Jimmy's aunt enters the room and brings another child. She tells Jimmy not to come out of the room and leaves. The commotion outside starts to grow louder as sirens outside go off. Jimmy goes to the door and tries to listen. Suddenly, people infected by the rage virus burst in and start slaughtering the kids as Jimmy hides behind the door. Jimmy runs out of the room to find his mom. She tells him to run before she gets attacked by the infected. His other relatives are also killed or infected. His mother starts to turn as she screams at him to run away. Jimmy runs out of the house and goes into a nearby church, where his father, who is a priest, is preparing for the infected to come for him. Jimmy begs his father to do something as the infected tries to break into the church. His father tells him that it is Judgment Day and that the infection will not kill them, but save them. He gives Jimmy a crucifix necklace to carry and tells him to have faith. The horde of infected then burst in, and Jimmy quickly runs and hides. His father happily screams, "Yes," as the infected get all over him and infect him too. His father, now fully turned, runs out of the church with the other infected as Jimmy hides beneath, while praying in terror. After it is clear, Jimmy gets out of the church and runs away as he holds the cross. Text states that the rage virus laid waste to the UK. It was driven back from continental Europe, and the British mainland was quarantined to contain the virus. Any survivors would have to fend for themselves. 28 years later, a community of survivors has formed a village on a small island called Lindisfarne off the mainland of the UK. There, the community makes a living by raising livestock and fishing. They also use weapons like arrows and spears to defend themselves, as they don't have modern weapons. Among them is a man named Jamie. He wakes up his son, Spike, in the morning, as it is a big day for Spike because he will go outside the gates of the community to the mainland to kill his first infected as part of a coming-of-age ritual. Spike's mother, Isla, is ill and spends her days in bed. Due to her illness, Isla repeatedly forgets things like a dementia. She asks Spike if he is going to school, and he and Jamie remind her again about the outbreak. When she learns that Jamie is going to take Spike outside the gates, she screams at him for trying to put their son in danger. Spike calms her down and puts her to sleep before he goes downstairs to get a new bow and arrow that is crafted for him by an elderly man named Sam. The other villagers cheer Spike on and wish him luck as he heads out with Jamie. Before they go outside the gates, the keeper of the gate warns them that once they go to the mainland, no one will come looking for them if they don't come back. And they see many graves there of men who left and didn't return. Spike and Jamie agree, and they are allowed to go out. As they walk across the causeway to the mainland, Jamie asks him questions about it to test him. Spike explains that the causeway will be covered by sea every night, and if they don't return before the sea rises, they will get stuck on the mainland and have to wait for the sea level to drop. Swimming across is also not an option since the ocean has a current, and they will get pulled away. Jamie says they have 4 hours left until the high tide comes and asks Spike if he is sure about going out, and Spike says he is. They cross the ocean and get to the mainland. Spike gets amazed by how big the mainland is and wonders what else is out there. They then go into the forest, where they come across several obese infected. These infected types do not run or walk, but slowly crawl. Jamie tells Spike to hit it in the neck or chest to quickly kill it. Spike is scared, but Jamie guides him on how to aim. While they focus on it, another infected starts to crawl behind them. Spike aims and shoots the infected in the neck, killing it. The other infected tries to attack, but Jamie quickly kills it. Other infected hear its wailing and try to attack too, but Jamie quickly puts an arrow through its head. Jamie admires Spike's first kill and tells him that he is proud of him. The two proceed forward and end up in a big green land, where they see hundreds of deer running, and they are amazed by the view. They then see a house nearby and go to check it out in case they find something valuable. While searching inside the abandoned house, they come across an infected tied upside down. Spike doesn't want to see the gruesome sight, but Jamie forces him to watch in order to teach him a lesson. The infected seems to have a letter carved on his chest. It suddenly starts to scream and move, startling Spike. Jamie tells Spike that the man was tied up and left for the infected as some sort of punishment or a warning. He tells him that there are strange people in the mainland, and that is why they stay on the island. The infected continues to struggle, and Jamie orders Spike to kill it. Spike didn't want to do it, but Jamie tells him that it will get easier the more he kills. Spike has trouble finding the right opportunity to kill it, and the infected breaks itself free. Jamie screams at him to kill it, and Spike shoots it in the head at the last moment. Jamie and Spike later make their way back to the island. While they make their way through the forest, they see blood everywhere. They start to search in case they find another infected for Spike to kill, but come across a headless, gutted deer. Spike then sees the deer's head on a tree, and Jamie says that an alpha did it. They quickly start to make their way back to the island, but see a pack of fast infected in the distance, blocking their way. They are led by the alpha, which is stronger, faster, and smarter than regular infected. Jamie tells Spike to run, and they quickly start to run back into the woods. The alpha sends his pack, and they start to go after Jamie and Spike. Jamie tells Spike to hold defense, as he will shoot the first infected, and for Spike to shoot the second. Jamie kills the first one, but Spike misses due to fear, forcing Jamie to shoot the second one too. They continue to run as the infected continue to chase them. They again try to shoot, but Spike misses again and shoots one infected in the leg. The two run to a nearby house to hide, as Jamie kills more of the infected. At the last second, the two manage to hide in the attic and evade the rest of the pack of infected. While waiting it out in the attic, Jamie explains that the alpha is probably waiting for them to return, and they have no arrows left to fight it. Even if they have some, they need to shoot it with dozens of arrows to kill it. Spike apologizes for missing his shot, but Jamie tells him that it is not his fault and that he did better than any first-timer does. The two end up missing the low tide and are forced to spend the night there. At night, Jamie shows Spike a French military boat in the ocean doing quarantine patrol. Spike then sees fire in the distance out by the woods and asks Jamie if it is another community. Jamie says it is not, but when Spike continues to ask questions about it, Jamie tells him he does not know. Later that night, the two wake up from their sleep to find the house collapsing, and they quickly run out as the house comes crashing down. They begin to run back to the island, and when they reach the causeway, they see that the ocean level hasn't fully gone down. But still, it is possible to go across as the water is shin deep, and the two begin to make their way back. As they make it halfway through, the alpha returns and starts to go after them. They begin to run to the island as the alpha gets closer and closer to them. Jamie and Spike shout and warn the community, who begin to prepare to kill the alpha. They fire arrows and hit the alpha a bunch of times, but it still gets up and goes after Spike and Jamie. Before it kills them, the community fires a burning spear and hits it in the chest, finally killing it. A party is thrown in Spike's honor. Jamie tells what Spike has done and even lies and says that Spike slayed a bunch of the fast infected, even though Spike wants to tell the truth about how he kept missing. The community admires his courage and gives him a beer to drink. Spike goes outside to get some air, and he sees Jamie with another girl. He follows them and witnesses Jamie engaging in an affair, shattering his trust in his father. Spike goes back home and talks with Sam. He tells him that the community sees him as a hero, even though all he managed to do was kill a crawler and a tied one. But he is still happy with how much land there is out there and mentions the fire out by the woods. Sam says that it is probably Dr. Kelson, and Spike asks him about it. Sam tells him that Kelson used to be his doctor before the outbreak. Spike again gets disappointed at Jamie for not telling him about it and saying that all the doctors in the area are dead, and that is why no one knows what is wrong with Isla. Sam tells him that the reason Jamie didn't tell him is because Dr. Kelson is odd. Spike asks how he is odd, but Sam says he should not tell him more since Jamie has his reasons for not telling him. Spike then goes to bed with Isla and sleeps. The next morning, he wakes up to find Isla awake, and she tells Spike to buy some medicines for her from a pharmacy, forgetting that the outbreak ever happened. Jamie then returns and starts to make some breakfast. There, Spike confronts him about Dr. Kelson and why he didn't tell him. Jamie tells Spike that Dr. Kelson is a madman because a long time ago, before the community, Jamie was with another group of survivors. They made a living by scavenging around the mainland, and one day, they got close to Kelson's area. As they get closer, they start to smell a strong stench, and they look down from a cliff to see hundreds of dead bodies arranged in lines. In the middle was a fire, and Kelson stood by it. For some reason, Kelson dragged all the bodies there. Kelson then turned around to the group and waved, inviting them to come down like it was nothing. The group immediately ran away and never returned. Spike asks if he didn't want to help Isla get better, but Jamie says he does. Spike says Isla is going to die if they don't take her to Kelson and know what is wrong with her. Jamie is quiet, and Spike asks him if he wants Isla to die, so he can be with the girl he saw him with the previous night, leading to Jamie slapping Spike. Spike runs back to his mother, and Jamie quickly regrets his decision. He goes to apologize to Spike, but Spike holds a knife at his father and orders him to stay away from him and Isla. Jamie then angrily leaves the house. Later, Spike intentionally starts a fire and calls the people that are on watch of the gate that they are called to put the fire out. They tell Spike to keep watch and go to the fire with the other people of the community. Spike uses this chance to take Isla and leave Lindisfarne to go to the mainland and find Kelson. Once she realizes that she is on the mainland, Isla says they should get back, as it is not safe. Spike calms her down and tells her that he is taking her to a real doctor as Isla starts bleeding from the nose. The two make their journey through the beautiful but dangerous land. After they walk for a while, Isla starts to get tired, and they go into a nearby bell tower to spend the night. That night, the two talk, and Isla asks Spike if Jamie jokes with him, but Spike tells her he is always serious. She tells him that her dad always used to joke with her, and that Spike reminds her of him. The two then joke around and have a laugh. Isla then sleeps as Spike goes around to check the surroundings. After a while, Spike sleeps nearby, and unbeknownst to him, a crawler infected starts to go toward him. The infected tries to eat Spike, but someone grabs it. Spike wakes up the next day to find the infected dead and Isla by his side. He asks her who did it, and Isla says she doesn't know. And it is revealed that it was Isla who killed the infected by bashing it against a rock. The two then continue to move on. Elsewhere, a troop of NATO soldiers is seen on the mainland. They are chased by numerous infected, with some of them falling victim to rage as well. They kill some of the infected, but they are outnumbered. 3 soldiers survive and go through a tunnel. They walk through the dark tunnel, but they suddenly get attacked by a new alpha, which tears one's head off with the spine still attached, and kills another one with the head. Only 1 soldier survives and escapes from the tunnel. Spike and Isla keep moving and reach a massive land covered with flowers. There, Isla sees a big angel statue in the distance. She mistakes Spike for her father and starts speaking about the time he took her there when she was a kid. She starts to bleed from her nose again, and Spike helps her wipe it. A skinny infected then emerges from the flowers, and Spike quickly kills it, but its blood splatters on Isla's face. Spike quickly cleans her face before the blood gets into her eyes. Other infected then emerge and come running at them, and the two begin to run away. They get inside a gas station to hide, but the station is filled with fumes. The fume begins to suffocate them as the infected breaches in. The infected tries to kill them, but the soldier who survived comes from the roof and tells them to get down before he shoots the gas and ignites it, blowing all the infected up. The two go outside to get some air, and the soldier introduces himself as Eric. He asks Spike for the way around, but Spike doesn't know, as he is new to the mainland too. Eric gets exasperated that Spike cannot help him and tries to leave, but has a change of heart when he sees Spike trying to help his mother to walk. Eric then carries Isla, and they keep moving on. As they walk to Dr. Kelson, Eric tells Spike about life outside the quarantine zone and how he now regrets being a soldier. Spike asks him why he is here, and Eric says that their patrol boat sank, and now he is the only one left. Spike asks if a rescue is going to come for them, but Eric tells him that no one will be rescued once they set foot in the quarantine zone. They then sit together for a break, and Isla's illness is starting to get worse. They bond for a while as Eric tells Spike about the world outside the UK. The trio then continues moving on. Spike and Eric talk as Isla walks in front. Suddenly, they hear an infected screeching. Isla follows the noise and sees that it is coming from inside a train. She goes inside the train and finds a pregnant infected woman giving birth. Spike and Eric run after Isla and find her. Isla offers her hand to assist her, and the infected woman appears to lock hands with Isla. The infected woman ends up giving birth successfully, and the trio sees that the baby is not infected with rage. Isla cleans up the baby, and before she hands it back, the infected woman goes berserk, leading Eric to shoot her dead. Eric then tries to kill the baby, saying that she will be infected too. Isla and Spike defend the baby as Eric threatens to shoot them as well. Before he can make a move, the Alpha returns and pulls Eric out before he tears his head and spine out. The Alpha then gets in the train and starts to chase Spike and Isla. They start to run out of the train as they carry the baby. Spike shoots the Alpha with the arrow a couple of times, but it doesn't even flinch. It continues to chase them as it holds Eric's head. Isla and Spike get out of the train as the Alpha catches up to them. But before he kills them, he is shot with a tranquilizer dart. It is Dr. Kelson, and he has developed his own toxin that can keep an Alpha docile. He has painted himself with iodine since it acts as a prophylactic against the virus. He is friendly and even has named the Alpha Samson. He takes Eric's head from the Alpha and leads Spike and Isla away before the Alpha wakes up again. Kelson takes them to where he lives, where he shows Spike and Isla his bone temple, which he has created as a shrine for the deceased, and as a memento mori, which means remember you must die. Kelson has also piled all of their skulls into a huge tower in the middle. He takes Eric's head, burns the flesh off, and cleans it so it becomes a skull. He gives it to Spike so he can honor him by adding his skull to the tower. Kelson determines that the baby was protected by her mother's placenta, which spared her from infection. Later that night, Kelson does a series of examinations on Isla. After he is done, he sits them down and tells them the news. He determines that Isla has terminal cancer, which may have spread from her brain to her body or body to her brain, and it has metastasized. Isla tells Spike that she guessed from the beginning that it was cancer, but was afraid to tell him. Spike begs Kelson to save her, and even offers to get whatever modern medicine he needs from a hospital. But Kelson tells him that there is no medication that can save her, and that she is going to die soon. Spike is devastated, but Isla accepts her fate and comforts him. She hugs him and tells him that Kelson might not have a cure for her, but he can still help her. Kelson hits Spike with a tranquilizer to calm him down. Isla sits him down and gives him the baby. Kelson tells him memento amoris, which means remember you must love. He tells Spike that there are many kinds of death, and the best are peaceful, where they leave each other in love. Isla tells him she loves him and says her last goodbye before she joins Kelson and walks away so that he can mercy kill her. When Spike wakes up, Kelson presents him with his mother's skull. Spike climbs to the top of the skull tower to place Isla's skull there and says his last goodbye. The following day, Spike and Kelson must evade the Alpha again. They jump into a pit, where the Alpha tries to strangle Kelson, but Spike knocks him out again with one of Kelson's morphine darts. Afterwards, Spike and Kelson part ways. Spike brings the baby back to Lindisfarne and leaves her at the gate, so that the community can find her. He has also left a note for Jamie and the other villagers to take care of the baby since she is clean. He tells Jamie about Isla and that Dr. Kelson is a kind man. He also tells him not to come looking for him as he will return when he is ready, and until then, he wants to keep walking until he can't see the ocean. Jamie sees that Spike has named the baby Isla. Jamie runs out of the gate and into the river to try and find Spike, but it is high tide and Spike is nowhere to be seen. 28 days later, Spike is cooking a fish he caught until he is found by an infected. The infected charges at him, but Spike easily kills it. Before he can eat his fish, another two infected come at him, forcing Spike to pack his belongings and run. One of the infected eats his fish while the other one chases Spike. Spike runs until he hits a dead end. The infected starts to close in on him, but Spike shoots it in the head. Spike is then found by a mysterious blonde man and his cult of similar-looking followers. Another pack of infected starts to come for Spike, and the man offers Spike help, which he quickly accepts. The cultists then proceed to pull off acrobatic stunts before annihilating the infected one by one as they laugh and have fun. After all the infected are killed, the man goes to Spike and introduces himself as Jimmy, the same Jimmy from the beginning, as he still carries his father's cross necklace, but he is wearing it upside down. He shakes Spike's hands and tells him that they should become friends.